Hello, hello, hello. I am the Linux Mitch. Today, I'm going to talk about the best password manager. So, let's get to it. I'm in a virtual machine of Arch Linux with the awesome window manager. And I'm going to open up Firefox and I'm going to type in KeePass XC. And we're going to go here. And this is the website. It's free and open source. It's available in Linux, BSDs, Windows, and Mac OS. It's cross-platform. And like I said, it's free and open source. So anyone who knows how to read the code can read the code. And the beautiful thing about this, besides the fact that it's cross-platform, is that it stores your password database on your hard drive and not in the cloud. So there's less chance of it getting hacked. Okay? And because those ones that are stored in the cloud, they're high target. And of course, hackers target them. And even though they're probably hard to hack, they have been hacked in the past. But the beautiful thing about this is that it's storing the database on your hard drive. And what you should do is take the database and keep it on an encrypted thumb drive, or even 2 or 3 encrypted thumb drives for safety. So I'm not going to take a look at the website. This is it here. And I'm going to close this. And I'm going to go to my terminal. And I'm going to install it. I'm going to type in sudo pacman s KeePass XC. Put my password in. And I'm going to hit enter. And there it's installed. I'm going to close my terminal. I'm going to restart Awesome. Let's restart it. And let's hold down the mod key and hit the P. Let's do KeePass. There it is there. Let's open it up. So the first time you open it up, it's going to burn your eyes out. So I'm going to go to View, and I'm going to change the theme to dark. Ah, that's better. And now I'm going to create a database. Now, if you already have a database, you could just click this one on to open it. But we don't have one yet, so I'm going to create a database. And it's called Passwords. By default, you can call it whatever you want. And I'm going to put a description in. My password database. You can put whatever you want in there. Let's continue. And here it's asking you for a decryption type. And the way it's set by default, it's going to take a second to open the database. But I'm going to put this bar right to the top. But what it means is it's going to take 5 seconds to open the database. It's going to take a little longer. There's going to be a pause, but it's a little safer and harder to crack. Okay, so I'm going to hit continue, and it's creating the database. Now it's going to ask for a password. Now the thing about the password is the password should have small and capitalized letters, numbers, and some symbols, but it has to be something that you're going to remember. Because if you forget your password, you'll never be able to get into here. Okay, but I'm just going to make a simple password. Password is my password. And if you want, you can click the I so it's can't see what it is. And I'm just doing this for the sake of the video. Of course, you're not going to make your password like this. And I'm going to click done. It's warning me this is a weak password. Okay, well, continue with the weak password. And now the database is made, and I'm going to save it. Now, what I'm going to do is close it. Let's close it. There we go. And I'm going to open up my file manager, PCMan.fm. And there it is there. There's my database. Now, I have no password saved in there yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the name. I'm going to make it into a dot file. Just because it hides it. And of course, an experienced Linux user or probably a hacker would be able to find it. But your average person that happens to walk over to your computer, if you leave your computer open, they might not think to look in the dot files, and it's a little extra safety step. I'm going to change the name, and I'm going to rename it. And I don't want it to be renamed. I don't want to call it passwords. It's too obvious. I'm going to call it period. Let's call it hangers. Okay, let's hit enter, and there we go. So now you can't see it, it's gone. It's just a little extra, one little safety thing. If I click it and show hidden, there it is there, it's hangers. At least it's not so obvious that that is my password database. So now I'm going to click it on, and it's going to open my database. I'm going to close my file manager, and I'm going to put my password in, which is password. Now, if you don't want it to take so long to open, of course, you could move that bar more that way, right? When you're setting it up. So here you have settings. I'm not going to change anything. You can set the thing to automatically lock after so many seconds or after so many minutes. So when you're using this, when you're logging in and out of your websites that you have passwords for, you have to keep this open. And you can set it so that it automatically locks after it's idle for a while, but I just leave it on the default, which leaves it open all the time. So we're in general here, right? You go to security, the clipboard. So when you go to copy a web address, a username, or a password into your web browser, it only keeps it in the clipboard for 10 seconds by default, but you can change it to 5 seconds or 20 seconds, whatever you want. And you can also click on this one. It's off by default, but you can click it on so that the database, when it's open, it will automatically lock after 240 seconds, or you can change it to be whatever you want it to be, 1 minute or 10 minutes, whatever. And if it's automatically locking, it won't close the database, it won't shut it down, but it will just automatically lock it. But by default, it's turned off. And for now, that's all the settings I'm going to go into. So now I'm going to click off the settings, and we're going to create an account. I'm going to hit the plus sign, and I'm going to give it a title. You can title it whatever you want. I'm going to title it Gmail. So I made a brand new Gmail account. It's not one that I'm using. I just made it for the sake of the video. So don't send emails to it because I won't answer them. So my username is menchvideo@gmail.com. This is a real Gmail account that I just made. And my password is Mench, $, capital Mench, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's just eye it and see if it's okay. And I spelled it wrong. And I don't recommend using a password like this. And actually, after the video is made, I'm going to change the password or close the email account down. Okay. And now you got to put the URL in. https:// Well, let's just do it this way. Let's go to workspace 5. Let's open up Firefox. Let's type in Gmail sign in. Let's click it on. Let's just copy the URL just so we have it right. Let's copy. Let's paste it. And what else can we do? Now, if you want, you can click on this. It's off by default. You can click it on so your password will expire. And you can click this on. You can say, well, I want it to expire in 3 weeks. It gives you the date when it expires, and it's not going to actually expire the password. It's just going to give you a notice that your password is expired and you need to create a new one, or you should create a new one. Now you can also change this to 3 months. Well, let's change it to a year. You could even change it to a year. There we go. Now it's going to be expired on February 14th, 2025. But like I said, it's off by default. And then what you're going to do is save it. So now we have it saved. Actually, it's taking just a second to save it. And you can see down in the corner here, we have one entry. It's kind of small, and it's right in the bottom right-hand corner. So, in my personal one, I've been using this for about 3 years, 2 or 3 years. I have about, I don't know, maybe, I think I have over 50 passwords in there. And it's going to tell you there's 50, and you're going to have your whole list. So there's two ways to use this. You can use it manually, and I'm going to show you how to do that first. So let's go over to, we're at our Gmail, email, phone, or sign in. You can type in your email, or you can just highlight it, right click it, and copy username. Go back over here. Oops, wrong one. And paste it in. There's my username. Let's go next. Let's go over here. Let's go copy password. Let's put it in. Let's paste it in. And let's click on next. There we are. We're in my Google account. Now, let's log out. And let's go back to the sign in page. Let's remove the account. I'm just doing this for a reason. Okay, so there we are. Now, let's go back to the database. There it is. So you can click that on or off, and you can click it on. You can see the password down here. Or you could double click this, and there's the password there. You can eye it. Now, a beautiful thing you can do is, if you want to make a really nice complicated password, you could click on this square box, and it's going to generate a password for you. And a generated password is a lot safer, because the generated passwords, you really don't want real words or real dates. And a really safe password is a long password, a password that has capital letters, small letters, numbers, and symbols, and a password that is random. So it's not real words, or it's not dictionary words. And of course, the longer the better. And then you say, well, how am I going to remember the password? Well, that's why we use a password manager, right? And you should never use the same password for more than one account. So here you can set the password length. Like this password here is 15 digits. So you can see it's random, and you can see the password has capital letters, small letters, and I don't see any numbers in there, but there are symbols. So, and you can see it says it's a good password. So here you have down here, you can tell this what it wants to use. So it's set right now to use caps, small letters or lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. Let's say you don't want symbols. You can turn it off. Okay. Or you can turn it back on. Or if you don't want numbers, you can turn that off. I'm going to put it back on. Now, what you could do is, now if you wanted to create a difficult password, you could change the number and say, I want 18. So now it's saying it's excellent. Look at that. Now watch, if we go down to 17, it's good. Let's say we go down to 5. See, it's poor. We go to 18, it's excellent. You could even go to, you really want to be safe, you could go to 50. Look at that. It's 50 digits. It has capital letters, small letters, numbers, and symbols, and it's random. And these are the hardest passwords to crack. Now, if you want to save it, you could just do apply password, okay? And then you would apply, oh, my face is in the way. And then you would apply it. Password updated successfully, let's okay it. So now let's look. You eye it, look at the password. It's 50 digits and it's random. And it has capital letters, small letters, numbers, and symbols. Now, 50 is a bit long. You probably don't need to go that long. So like I said, we could double click it, and you could change the let's eye it. That's the password, eh? Let's click it on. You could even do, even if you do 18, it's going to, well, 18 is only good. So let's do 19. 19 is excellent. So you could do 19 is excellent, or you could even do 20. Okay. Now, if you don't like the this password, you could just click on this to refresh it, and it gives you another one. You click it on again and give it another one. Okay. Now you could go to advanced, And advanced allows you to change the type of symbols you use. Okay? And you can unclick some of these and click on some of these and so forth. I'm not going to apply it. I'm going to close it. Oops. And that's the password. And of course, you just okay it, and we're in. And you can see it again. There's the password. Now you could right click this URL and copy the link onto your web browser, and it's only going to stay for 10 seconds. You can copy, you can go up here and copy the username. You can copy up here also the URL, the username, or the password, and paste it into your web browser. And like I said, it's going to save it for 10 seconds. You have 10 seconds to paste it in. Now you might be saying that's a little too complicated. Can't it integrate with the browser? Well, it does. So we're going to go to click on settings. We're going to go to browser integration. And we're going to click on enable browser integration. I'm going to click it on. So you can use it with Google Chrome, Chromium, Firefox, Vivaldi, Tor browser, Brave, and Edge. So now I'm going to go to my web browser, and it's going to open up another tab. And I'm going to go to extensions. I'm going to do a search for KeePass XC. And I'm going to click it on here. I'm going to click on Add to Firefox. I'm going to add it. And I'm going to OK it. And it's done. So now I'm going to close this page. I'm going to close this page. And I'm going to go back to Workspace 1. And I'm going to click on Firefox. And I'm going to OK it. Now I'm going to go back to Workspace 5. And I'm going to click this on. And here it says KeePass, can't always read and change data on the site. And let's click it on and see what happens. And I'm just going to click on reload. I'm going to click on reconnect. And now I'm going to go to Workspace where I have my database. And you see this thing. So this is like a one-time thing you have to do when you're setting up the database. So I'm just going to give it a name. I'm going to call it computer. I'm going to save and allow. Okay, let's go back to my web browser, an extension, redetect login fields. I'm going to click it on. Okay, so I'm going to put my mouse in the field here. I'm going to right click it. I'm going to go to the bottom of the menu, and I'm going to go here to fill username and password. Now I'm going to go back to this. Okay, so what you're going to have to do is when you're setting up the database, you're going to have to do a one-time thing. Then for the first time you do every account, you're going to have to do a one-time thing for that account. So we're going to go back to the other workspace, and we're getting this message. KeePass browser access. Do you want to allow google.com? Gmail? So we're going to say, click on remember, and we're going to click on allow. We're only going to have to do this once, but you're going to have to do this once for every login account the first time only, and only one time. Now let's right click this. Let's go to KeePass browser, fill in username. Let's go next. Let's put password only. There we go. I can tell that's the right password. Go next. And there it goes. Now let's log out. And let's just close the web browser. Let's open it up again. Let's go to Gmail. Let's right click it. Let's go down to the bottom and do a username. Let's go next. Let's go password only. And let's go next. And there we go, we're in. So that's how you use the browser extension. And now you can see right here at the bottom, we have one entry. So if you have, let's say, 50 accounts saved here, you're going to see it's going to say 50 entries. Now, so when you first starting to use the browser integration, like I said, you're going to have to jump back here to connect it to your web browser, like I showed. And then for every brand new account, you're going to have to, the first time you're logging into that account, you're going to have to jump back here to give it permission. And you want to click on the remember and you want to click on the permission. And you're going to have to do that one time only for every brand new account, and also one time for the first time that you connect your database. Okay, sorry for repeating myself. I just want to make sure you understand what I'm talking about. So that's how you use the browser integration. And really, I think it's just as easy to do it manually. You want to know the truth. I mean, to do it manually, all you got to do is copy username, go over there, paste it in. Go back here, right click it, copy password, go back here, and paste it in. And either way, whether you're doing it manually or using the browser integration, you have to keep your database open. Now, like I said, you can have the database locking after a few minutes or whatever, and it won't close down or shut down, but it will lock. So you're going to have to reopen it and put your password in. And that's how it works. And that's it. In this video, I showed you what I think is the best password manager for several reasons. Number one, it's not cloud-based. The database stays in your hard drive, in your computer only. So you don't have to worry about hackers hacking some cloud-based password manager system. And the way you keep it safe is it's very easy to copy your database onto an encrypted thumb drive. And this web browser works in Linux, BSD, Windows, and Mac OS. So you can just take the database, put it on your thumb drive, and plug it into another computer, regardless of what operating system it's running. And it will work. And I think the password manager is really easy to use. It has a user-friendly front end, and it even will create long and complicated passwords for you. And you can use it manually, or you can use it with the browser integration. Now, the downside is that, and there is one downside, and that you can't sync it with your smartphone or your smart tab or whatever. So that's a problem. And of course, if you're using long, complicated passwords, it's going to be hard to type them into your phone and to get the passwords working in your phone and in your pad as well. Now, I suggest that in the phone, you don't put all your passwords in. I don't keep my passwords in my phone. I might have one or two important ones, and that's it. So that's the only downside, is that it doesn't sync with your phone or your tablet. But like I said, you can quickly and easily copy the database into another computer that's running another operating system. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I am the Linux Mensch.